Okay, sup, you fuckers. Wait, no, chuckle fucks. Wait, it's chuckle fucks? Fuck, I forgot. Sorry, I kinda woke up like a while ago, so. I made this thumbnail like in the morning and I woke up a while ago, so yeah, I guess you can see that I am still tired as fuck. But yeah. But not the point here. Well, I didn't woke up a while ago. Well, I did woke up a while ago. I just went to go watch with the cob. Mostly fight scenes. Fuck it to my phone. I'm like, oh man, I'm bored. I haven't watched a good fight in a while. I don't know why. It's because since I'm out of high school and middle school. Mostly high school wasn't that many school fights. I don't know. I wanted to see the thrill of a battle. I have no clue. But not the point. So let me begin into this what if. This what if is called What If Issei Had a Powerful Sacred Gear and Had Special Eyes? Part 1. Now before I go on, I know someone's going to ask me for what if Issei was betrayed and was a reincarnation of Virgil and had the system. Now I will do that later because, well, when I was watching it yesterday at night, I like literally passed out. And I didn't know what the fuck happened because the video just continued on. I just like woke up at 30 minutes later because that's how long the video was. I think I was like at 7 minutes before passing out and like falling asleep. So yeah, I wanted to do it at night, but man, I got too tired. So yeah. So of course, instead of doing that right now, because I don't know what really happened because I passed out and then I turned off my computer and just went to sleep. Fuck it. But yeah. But of course, instead of doing that one right now, I'm gonna do this what if, and then I'll go back to rewatching that if I pass out again, if I don't, whatever. But not the point. Let me get into this what if. So, the powerful sacred gear that Issei is going to have, well, I will mention that later. But for right now, let me begin into the what if. So, we begin into somewhere like a kind of forest. A forest with mostly two people kind of like talking on a bench. Now these two people, one is a supernatural being while the other is actually a human. Of course, they're kind of talking about some issues. Now, of course, everything is happening normally, like they're talking about business, about some stuff. Of course, is where, well, from a very far away place, someone's camped up on a, what's it called, mostly rooftop. Right now having a sniper, like a, what's it called, like a sniper scope, of course having the barrel right now pointed towards these two people. Of course, these two people are just not alone. They're actually having bodyguards around them. Mostly one of them has like bodyguards around them, mostly in the sky or even the floor. But yeah. But of course we go back into this person, this unknown person. This person has kind of like blackish kind of, well, mostly he's like blackish brownish hair, so it's like dark brown hair. Dark brown eyes, or mostly goldenish brown eyes, are kind of just piercing through the scope and looking into mostly one person, into the bench. Of course, this one person is a guy who kind of has, what's it called, a black suit with a red, like bow tucks or whatever, like tie and other things. Of course, the other person has mostly like a black coat with a black shirt underneath, black pants, but yeah, you get the point. Of course, this person kind of has like a fedora on his head, while the other person has mostly like grayish hair. And it looks like he's about to become bald. Listen, well, the person kind of looks down at his phone. Now his phone is kind of a black phone with kind of the case being like a, how should I say? Now, of course, this is where the person looks into his phone and checks if these people are the right people for him to assassinate. He actually got a call on a bounty hunt that mostly he needed to assassinate these two people. One person is a guy who looks like he has whitish hair. Of course, where, well, he has a hat on and you can barely see his bald spot with a huge ass bald spot. His forehead is pretty fucking huge. But of course, this is where this guy is named Mr. Javan. Mr. Javan. Javan, which, hey, there's a description on who exactly this man is. This man is like a mafia, or not even mafia, a Yakuza member for mostly the Yakuza, like mostly the Yakuza is called Akaichi, just means red blood. Of course, this is where the description says this man's a terrible person. He like kidnaps young girls from like big cities who are just trying to get bright futures in like colleges and other stuff, and makes them becomes into, well, prostitutes and also some other stuff. This is where, well, he's also done other shady shit, like what's it called, has done, what's it called, tax fraud or any of the other stuff. But yeah, of course, well, that's not the biggest main point in why this person needs to be assassinated. Is because he also has done some illegal shit with supernatural beings, like mostly fallen angels. We go into the other person. The other person with the fedora and of course with the black suit and other stuff. This is where, well, his name is, well, what's it called? Well, the fallen angel doesn't have a name, but mostly they kind of go into the description and titles and what this guy is. This is where, well, he's a fallen angel that has 4 wings, works for a person named Coco Bill. Of course, this is where there's not many description, but mostly this person uses light magic, just like any normal fallen angel, does this and that and whatever. This is where, well, the person looks at his phone, then turns it off, but before turning it off, he goes to a music, mostly app, picks the music that he needs to kind of pick, puts on, well, what's it called? It's called King of the Dam, so that's what the song is called. Made by Barrel of Gates, and of course made by The Alternative, or whatever that's called. But of course, well, the song is playing. Of course, this person loads up the sniper rifle, and of course, aims it towards the back of mostly the side of the head of the fallen angel, and it should be able to pierce through and kind of smash into the other person. Of course, well, he's aiming. Of course, he kind of checks on the ammo to check if it's the right ammo. This is where he puts it back in. It kind of has a tip of like a red, kind of like a red tip in it. This is where, well, mostly this person like calms his breathing and of course just kind of like aims, ready, then shoots. Boom! A huge sound barrier breaking bullet just goes through the thin air. Of course, no one else pays attention to this. The 2 people are talking. Of course, they were about a handshake, like the Noble handshake, because they agree with something. When they both do that, the bullet hits the fallen angel, the back of the head, piercing through to the front of mostly the forehead, smashing into what's it called, the person in front of him, not being able to pierce through, managed to kind of smash into the neck, and of course, then the bullet itself exploded into this guy's kind of head. This is where both of them literally died in an instant, falling down to the ground, and this is where the bodyguards of both, well, mostly businessmen, literally rushes towards their kind of mostly leaders and seeing what the fuck happened. They don't know what the hell even happened. They look around trying to check and where that bullet came from, but it might have came from somewhere far fucking away because they wouldn't be able to find who this person shot it from. Where it shot from, actually, they don't even know, but they do know that came from that one side. They do know that it came from that one side, but they don't know where, though. Of course, the person already left. After shooting the bullet, he didn't even need to check if he got it correct or not. This is where, well, he kind of like puts the sniper rifle away, like it disappears into blue light. Of course, well, it kind of disappears to blue light going into his left hand, having a bluish, glowish aura, of course, disappearing after a while. And of course, this is where, well, one of his eyes glow a little bit like a bluish color. Of course, this is where, well, he nods to himself and just walks away. Of course, this is where he's walking away, having a trench coat on him and just walking away because it started raining after a while. But yeah. This is where, well, he gets into a bar, like just sits, but not into a bar. He gets into like a coffee shop, orders a coffee, and starts drinking, and of course texts the person that both of them are eliminated. This is where, well, the person sends him a bunch of fucking money online, like a bunch of money into his bank, and this is where, well, the person nodded. This is where, well, he says, this is a good way to get money from both of my parents. Well, time to leave. This is where he pays the person or the cashier the coffee and kind of just leaves drinking coffee and kind of going back home. This is where, well, he moves from mostly, he was in Paris, I should mention. This was actually Paris, and he goes back to Japan. After a while, he knows that mostly school is actually starting up back again, and a couple days, because mostly the reason why he's in Paris was because there was a vacation because of, yeah, some stuff. But of course he gets back to mostly Japan, into a Pacific place named Kuo Town, and gets towards mostly his house. But yeah, we go into the person walking into the house, or mostly knocking, and this is where a young, well, not even young female, mostly an older looking female kind of opens the door. She has brownish hair, kind of these brownish eyes that are gentle and nice and caring. Of course, wondering who exactly is at the door at mostly like 10 in the morning. This is where, well, when she opens the door, she seems surprised and shocked and started crying. This is where, well, she hugs her kind of baby boy and saying, "I'm so happy you're back. How was your trip?" This is where, well, the boy in question kind of says, "It was good, Mom. Very good. I came back because I knew that school was going to start up in a couple of days later." This is where, well, the mother kind of hugs and, of course, like brings the boy inside. And this is where, well, an older looking man is in the table just drinking coffee. Of course, this is where he has a blue shirt, kind of like khaki pants because he's going to work. And of course, he has newspaper like in front of him, but he kind of like looks up. He has brownish, kind of like goldenish, well, not goldenish brown eyes, just kind of look like he has kind of like these bluish little bit tinted eyes. And they're kind of brown and similar at the same time. He has glasses, has kind of darkish brown hair. Most of the female, the older lady, had kind of goldenish eyes and kind of brownish hair, but yeah. This is where, well, they are both, mostly the older man kind of says, "Ah, Issei, you came back. I thought you were actually going to stay there and try to lose your V card." This is where, well, Issei literally, mostly, then the now questioning boy kind of just swipes up and says, "Really, Dad? No, I'm not going to lose my V card. I just went there just because I needed some stuff, okay? I needed to do some stuff." Because it worked well. The older man nodded and kind of just says, "Well, I'm glad you're here. Well, when are you going to," well, mostly the older man now questions, "When are you going to, I don't know, lose your V card and have a child?" "When I'm actually out of high school," the older looking, well, mostly the kid kind of just said, while deadpanning because his father's literally trying to make him have a child with something. Or anyone. Fuck it. It could be literally a supernatural and his dad wouldn't even know because most of his parents are just normal human beings. Well, if you can technically say that. Which, mostly the boy knows that they're normal human beings, and that's all. Does it work well? The kid kind of says, well, the boy named Issei kind of just says, "Well, I'll be going upstairs. I'm going to unpack and kind of like go probably get ready and go to probably the store. I'm going to meet up with friends." This is where, well, both of them just sighs and says, "Do you really have to meet up with both of those boys? They aren't very good people." This is where, well, Issei, who looks at his parents, just smiles with a gentle smile saying, "I'll be fine, Mom and Dad. I don't really care that much, but I'll be fine. Don't worry about me." This is where, well, both of them sighs and says, "Okay, fine." This is where, well, Issei goes upstairs and of course gets ready. This is where he gets his hair mostly different color, mostly a lightish brownish color of hair because he dyed it. His goldenish eyes are still normal. This is where, oh, he gets mostly his regular casual clothes and kind of puts mostly his like trench coat and other stuff into his closet. This is where, well, Issei then looks into the mirror and says, "Well, then again, I'm not normal myself. I'm not very, how should I say, that goody two-shoes to myself neither. Well, other than that, this is where, well, he gets another notification on his phone, but this is where he then just puts the phone away and gets out another phone, and this kind of just has, as I call his phone case. I should have mentioned the other phone case. The other phone case was basically just black, but this phone case is kind of red, and of course, this is where, well, he turns on the phone, kind of texts two people to see if they want to go out. And this is where, well, those two people kind of reply, one saying yes, the other kind of saying no, I'm on a date with a very beautiful, hot girl. This is where, well, the other guy says, oh hell no. How did you get a fucking date with the Kyle Motohama? This is where Motohama says, "Because I'm just that good." This is where, well, mostly the other person named Matsui in question kind of just says, well, not in question, mostly he says, "Fuck, I can't even get a date." He's crying, he sent the crying emoji. Issei mostly sweat drops at both of the reactions of his friends. Mostly, he's glad that one of his friends finally found true love and probably was something a pervert. And the other is still, well, he doesn't know. Probably fucking depressed or something. This is where, well, Matsui was the only one going to meet up with Issei, so of course we go into that. We go into mostly the super mall. This is where, well, Issei is right now just waiting for his friend. Of course, this is where one of them shows up, being Matsui, and Matsui says, Issei, how did one of our bros become so much better? He managed to get a girl. This is where he's crying. This is where Issei sweatpants, and mostly not sweatpants, mostly dead pants at this, and this is where, well, Issei then smiles and says, oh come on, what's it called, Matsui? It's not that bad. Besides, what would happen if, what's it called, Murahama just suddenly died or something? I mean, maybe his girlfriend tried to kill him or something. This is where, well, Matsui said, I don't care. If I had a girlfriend and she tried to kill me, I wouldn't mind. At least let me squeeze him. This is where Issei sweat drops and says, dude, do you really just think about that? I mean, wouldn't that just make her extremely more pissed? I don't care. Still, where the hell have you been? Oh, I've been in Paris. Did you actually found any, what's it called? This is where Issei smacks him in the head saying, no, I did not do that. I went there for family reasons. Idiot. This is where, well, Matsui sweat drops and says, yeah, I know that. You didn't just go there. You probably lost your V card first than both of us. Dude, I'm still a virgin. Shut the hell up. This is where, well, Issei said, with such an annoyed tone. This is where Matsui says, we could never get anything. This is where, well, Issei still dead pants at mostly his friend's reaction and just says, you're an idiot. Well, come on, let's just go to some store. Maybe I can cheer you up somehow. This is where, well, Matsui kind of just mostly cries with anime tears, just following Issei. This is where we go into Issei and Matsui going into the games, mostly like a game store. Of course, this is where a bunch of games, either plus 18 games or just regular ass games, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei's looking around. Of course, this is where he was about to grab this game called GTA 6, because there's actually a new GTA 6, which is kind of in beta version, I should mention. But yeah. But of course, before him grabbing it, a girl actually reaches for it and tries to grab it also. Both their hands connect and touch. This is where, well, Issei looks up and of course sees the girl to have mostly like this. Mostly like these dark glasses, a black hat, mostly black hats, a scarf that's supposedly covering up her face and neck at the same time, wearing this like black kind of jacket, of course, black pants and mostly black shoes. This is where, well, Issei sweat drops at this mostly reaction site and says, what the fuck? Because first of all, it's hot right now. It's kind of just, not that hot, but it's cold but hot at the same time. So it's like warm temperature. First of all, who the fuck is wearing all this shit? This person also has short black hair that kind of reminds him of someone. Where have I seen short black hair like that? It's kind of like an above cut. This is where he's thinking for a second until he noticed that the girl was actually right now sweat dropping, kind of looking at Issei. This is where, well, Issei said, whatever. Issei takes the fucking game out of the, what's it called? Well, see, he takes the game so fast that the girl can barely like proceed to what the fuck just happened. Issei just takes the game and just walks away from mostly her and the kind of like shelf, because yes, he like took it so fast. So the girl could not be able to react fast enough. This is where, well, Issei said, well, time to go play GTA 6. Even though it's in a beta form, I still want to know what the hell they have done. This is where, well, he then looks towards his friend. His friend already bought like 3 different like game sets. Well, mostly different like games of like plus 18. Mostly it's H anime, but yeah. Issei sweat drops at his friends fucking obsessed with this shit, but yeah. This is where, well, he was actually walking to the cashier until mostly someone poked him in the back of mostly like poke them or get him his attention from the back. And this is where Issei turns around and sees the same girl. This is where he says sweat drops and says, do you need something? This is where, well, the person nodded. She then points at the game and this is where Issei said, no. Issei said, no. This is where he doesn't give a damn that much. This is where the girl kind of pokes both of her fingers, but she's not talking. She's literally just like shy or just doesn't want to talk. Issei said, I'll give you the game if you talk. This is where, well, the person now is right now stunned, and of course, she doesn't know if she needs to talk or try to grab the game, mostly the game case, out of Issei's hand. Which Issei is literally having the most of the case behind him to make sure that she won't be able to grab it. This is where, well, the person's right now kind of switch offing and seeing Issei kind of like not wanting to give the game up. This is where, well, the person was actually about to start speaking until mostly his friend, or mostly Issei's friend being Matsui, says, "Yo, dude, can we hurry this up? I want to go home and play these video games." Issei sweat drops at his friend's fucking just the best timing or worst timing of him just starting to, well, try to listen to the girl. He heard like a eep, but very quiet. This is where, well, Issei says, "Well, you heard my friend. I'll be going. See ya." This is where Issei walks away from her, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into Issei kind of, well, going out of the store after buying GTA 6 beta. Of course, his friend is confused on why he even bought that. If he knows that's in beta, and of course it probably won't even work. Issei says, "It's because I wanted to. I wanted to at least see some of the visual kind of like product that's inside it before I like actually get GTA 6 when they actually fucking release it." This is where he says that with such an annoyed tone. This is where, well, his friends watch out, but this is where his friend says, "I don't understand, why don't you get like, well, mostly why didn't you just get like some kind of ARM game or something like that?" He says switch up and says, "Because we already have played with multiple of them." This is where, well, mostly his friend says, "But not every game is the same." That's where he says, "And not every game of me playing GTA 6, well, mostly any other game is not the same." Mostly his friend says, "Dude, you just have multiple like gun shooting games most of the damn time." This is where, well, he says switch up and says, "Because they're fun. Let me fucking play my own games. Or do you want me to judge you and your fucking, how should I say, your obsessed desire for lollies?" This is where, well, most of his friends say, "Shh, shh. If you say that out loud, wouldn't the FBI be on my ass?" Not feeling like they're already on your ass. This is where he said with such a joking tone of matter. This is where his friends watch off and says, "I hope they're not." This is where he says they probably are. Well, we should probably get home then and make sure that FBI doesn't get your ass and put you in jail for being, what's it called, down bad right. Or not down bad right, just down bad. This is where, well, his friends switch up and says, "Yeah, we gotta get home." This is where his friends right now runs off from the supermarket, well, not supermarket, the supermall, and this is where Issei switch off at his friend's stupid reaction. Of course, he knows that his friend used to be a jock in middle school, but he also knows that his friend now in high school is kind of like a camera nerd person or whatever. So of course he's not too surprised of his friend kind of running like hell and be able to like outrun like most people in high school because of his like jock status. Well, it used to be jock status, but yeah. He say just switch up and say, "Such an idiot." Well, I should probably be going. This work well. Someone tries to use a little bit of magic on Issei to influence him to kind of like drop the like bag, which Issei notices. He dropped it on accident, and this is where he managed to catch it. And Issei says, maybe I'm still tired from stuff. Maybe I should be running also. This is where Issei just kind of like speed walks away from mostly the supermall. Of course, is where when he gets outside, he then stretches, and this is where he says, "Well, can't catch up to him like this, so I start booking it." This is where, well, Issei starts kind of running like hell, being a little bit much more faster than normal. If anyone saw this, they would have expected him to also be like a jock, like what's it called, Matsui, but mostly that's not the case. Issei was not a jock in middle school or in 3K, which yeah. Also, they should know that Issei is pretty weak, and compared to both of his friends, they should know that he is one of the weakest and not the greatest in like working out and what's it called, the gym class at all. He just doesn't work out that much. But of course, his speed is incredible. You would expect him that he's like a supernatural being, which he's not. This is where, well, Issei right now books it to his house. Of course, knowing damn well that someone was trying to use magic on him to influence him to drop the like mostly bag. This is where, well, for some reason the magic that mostly tried to influence his body felt familiar for some reason. He tried to remember, but he didn't care. Of course, it worked well. We go into an unknown kind of like house, and of course a person getting inside, taking off their clothes, mostly taking off the scarf, taking off the glasses, and like taking off the hat, smashing it all down to like a mostly her bed, And of course, it is her, I should mention. She has kind of magenta eyes and has a furious look in her eye because she wants to play that game. But of course, none other than Issei Hyodo or Haidu. Haidu Issei managed to take the game that she actually waited for so long to get because it hasn't, came out. Just takes it and just books it, and she couldn't influence him at all. She dropped it. So she's right now pissed and annoyed. This is where she punches her wall, and right now just swears for revenge on Haidu Issei. Now we go back into Issei getting to his house. This is where Issei wanted to play the game, but this is where his parents say that they were about to go out to eat if Issei wanted to come. Issei says sure, that he doesn't really mind going out. So of course he goes out with his parents to Red Lobster or something, okay? Or going to Red Lobster. Even though I never went to Red Lobster. Mostly me, the narrator. Never went to Red Lobster, so yeah. But that's not the point. We go into mostly the next day, and of course Issei is right now kind of knowing that his parents aren't home because they went to grocery shops. But of course, Issei is right now kind of just doing push-ups, sit-ups, and of course doing crunches, and of course doing pull-ups on a pull-up bar that's near his door. So yeah. Of course, he also have to run to kind of get his body just exercise. But yeah, this is where he first takes off his shirt, and this is where he has what's it called? This is where mostly Issei has an 8-pack under his mostly shirt, being his muscles. Of course, he is kind of ripped and other things, but mostly kind of not that ripped. Mostly he has muscles, but he's lean. Of course, he only worked on being muscular lean, is so people won't question and why he bulked up a little bit more. This is where, he is kind of just looking at himself, looking and kind of checking if he has any wounds on his body or not, just in case. This is where, he noticed he has nothing. This is where, Issei is quite, not paranoid, but he's just mostly relaxed and paranoid at the same time, but not the point. He looks at his phone for a second just to check on the, notification from his other phone case that was all black. And this is where, he checks on it and sees that's a notification from another kind of person trying to hire him. This is where, the person asked for a private meeting. Well, mostly a personal, private, IRL kind of meeting. Just to kind of meet in real life. But yeah. This is where, Issei switch ups at this, but this is where, he might take the mission. So, of course, this is where he's wondering where he has to be at. This is where the person says that it's in Japan, mostly in Shiba City, in a hotel and other things. This is where, Issei kind of already is near kind of Shiba City, way cool. So, of course, he's going to just go there. This is where he undyes his hair to being dark brown. Of course, this is where his golden eyes are actually, really just kind of normal golden eyes. This is where, he then puts on a black shirt, white kind of pants that's right now being held up by a black ribbon. This is where he wears on black shoes that are slip-on and decides to go towards the place. This is where, he first is wearing a black kind of jacket and now going towards the train, seeing that's here already. And of course, it's going to Shiba City, so of course, lucky for him, he gets on the train, which is not on top, inside the train, on top of it, because he doesn't want to pay. But of course, is where, he gets to Shiba City in a while. Of course, is where he gets to the hotel. He does have his phone, mostly the one that he uses for kind of jobs, and gets towards mostly the location. When Issei walks in, Issei is kind of just looking around. Of course, where, his senses already kicked in, kind of saying that this place is not, safe at all. By when I mean safe, I mean it's dangerous. Supernatural beings are in this place. This is where, his senses kick in like that. This is where, he's walking in, and of course, where, he's looking around and seeing no one until someone spoke up behind him. This is where, Issei kind of turns around with a casual look, and this is where, or mostly not casual look, with narrow eyes. And of course, this is where what he sees is a guy with longish red hair, of course, bluish eyes, and it looks like he just got out of the shower. This is where, he does have a towel around him, but yeah. This is where, Issei said, "You mind just putting on a shirt or something?" This is where, the person swipes up and says, "I guess you're right." He has a kind of cheerful look which is confusing because most of the people that he usually kind of meets up, Issei usually meets up with, are usually people that have a stern look, have no relaxed tone, kind of telling him who to assassinate, who to murder, and who to do whatever. But of course, well, this person just have like, mostly a friendly look. Of course, Issei already noticed that this person is not a human at all. This is where, well, the person goes into mostly his like bedroom, kind of gets back some clothes, and this is where he kind of walks back in. Now, of course, what Issei sees is this person having a red tuxedo with a black kind of tie, of course, wearing like red pants and like what's called black shoes. He gets to sit like into a chair that is right now like in the table, and this is where he puts both of his hands together, right now smiling at Issei with a gentle smile, and Issei kind of is just standing up. Issei said, "So what do you want, devil?" This is where, well, before Issei says that, we'll see a female walks in. She has kind of grayish hair. She seems to have looks like a maid, and of course her eyes are closed. This is where, well, she opens them to show grayish eyes, but yeah. This is where Issei narrows his eyes also, and notices this person's a devil also. This is where, well, the person goes, well, hello there. You must be, how should I say, This is where, well, the person says, oh, but hello there. You must be DeadShot, the person with red hair kind of mentioned. Issei narrows his eyes and says, yes, that's me. Do you need someone for me to eliminate or something? Mr. Oh, where's my manners, the red hair said. My name is what's it called? My name is Sirzechs. This is where he doesn't say last name, just so he doesn't threaten this human for any case. This is where, well, the gray hair maiden, he says, her name is Graceophy. Well, other than that, Mr. DeadShot, tell me, what do you think that you're good at most of the time? It's where, well, Issei goes in professional mode and says, what I'm good at is assassinating people, shooting them from far ranges, being close combat and shooting them also. He basically goes on a whole killing list. But of course, where, well, mostly the person says, how good are you on assassin missions? Well, again, like I said, I can assassin people easily, either in close or long range. No, I don't mean like that. How good are you in infiltrating people? Well, I'm good in doing that. But I also like to just take out some people to make sure that no organization kind of grows bigger and that they're stealing some information. This is where, well, the person says, okay. Well, I mean like infiltrate. I want you to get something from someone, but I don't want you to kill them. Issei narrowed his eyes. Issei said, and who exactly might this be? A girl by the name of Rias Grimmery. She goes to a school named, well, Mosi Kuo High, and I want you to kind of infiltrate her and take, we'll see, a special book that's called Diary. Issei sighs and says, and you don't want me to kill them? No. This is where Issei sighs again. Look here, devil. I know I'm not the smartest in what's it called the tool shed, but I know damn well that that's your little sister. Isn't that your full name? Sirzechs Lucifer, also known as from the Grimmery clan. You're basically telling me to go towards your little sister, take her diary, but also show off some of my skills so your sister can turn me into a devil when I come back, because I feel like you would try to kill me. I'm not stupid. I do not take stupid missions that consider a fucking family members, and I do not take missions to where the guys to turn me into a damn devil. So first of all, no thanks, I will not take this mission. First of all, I fucking hate devils. Second of all, I just don't want to deal with devil's politic bullshit in the first fucking reason. And then third of all, I don't give a damn if I have to take a fucking special book named The Diary. The hell does it contain? The fucking magical wonders of your damn sister, you damn sister con. This is where, well, see, Sirzechs is surprised. This is where Graceophy kind of narrow her eyes. Of course, this is where she has ice magic, but before even kind of, well, activating it, Issei right now pulls out a golden gun from mostly his like right hand and points at Graceophy and says, if you use your magic, I won't hesitate to blow your fucking brains out. This is where, well, mostly Sirzechs says, okay, all of you, we gotta calm down. He noticed that mostly that gun was actually a holy gun, which he doesn't even know where fucking Issei even got it from, or DeadShot mostly. And of course, he's surprised that Issei, or DeadShot mostly, managed to figure out what was happening here. Of course, that whole other situation of him like turning into a devil was not the case fully. He was going to ask him if he could actually help his sister, but Issei seems to be hating devils for a lot of shit. So of course, that's the thing. This is where, well, Sirzechs says, you don't need to take the mission. I can see that Mr. DeadShot here doesn't like devils. But not all of us are evil. Issei says, oh yeah, not evil, my ass. Last week, or not even last week, about 2 weeks ago, I had to take out some random devil that wasn't even on my mission. Some devil with black hair, I don't remember his eye color, and I wouldn't care that much. He was about to go R some maiden. A maiden from the holy church or whatever bullshit, and I don't give a damn about the church most of the damn time. But still, R-ing a maiden just for your assessed fucking maiden like issues or whatever the hell. I don't like that. I hate it. The fact that you're such a filthy devil doing that shit pisses me off also. So of course I decided to blow his fucking brains out. I didn't care in who exactly this person was related to. I didn't give a damn. Of course I failed my mission during that time, but I went to kill them after a while. But I didn't care. Mostly if I can remember right. He had wearing this coat, this or that. Basically he was describing Diodora. Yes, he shot Diodora in the head without even a care in the fucking world. This is where Sirzechs freezes up after mentioning which person this is. This is where, well, it's mostly Ajuka's little brother being Diodora. And Issei literally just said that he fucking shot him because he was about to go what's it called, maiden of the Holy Church, or saint or whatever. Issei didn't care because this person wasn't even on his hit list. It was just something that Issei didn't like, or mostly DeadShot didn't like. This is where, well, mostly Sirzechs says, do you even know who you exactly kill? Issei said, hell no, and I don't care. First of all, do any of that fucking shit, that scummy shit in front of me, and I won't hesitate to kill you. I don't care in who exactly he was. He could have been a high-ranking devil, and I wouldn't give two damns in the fuck. Hell no. You think I care so much about this place? No, I don't. So, fuck that. This is where, well, mostly Sirzechs can narrow his eyes at Issei now, because he can see Issei really doesn't care about the devil faction at all. Issei also explains that the devil faction is mostly the most well-off faction from the other three factions, or the other two factions being the angels and the fallen angels. Now, he doesn't hate the fallen angels that much because, well, he doesn't care. And of course, he doesn't care about the angel race, but yeah. Of course, he hates the church because of all the scummy shit he managed to find on one time of him just infiltrating somewhere, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei narrows his eyes at mostly his goldenish brown eyes narrows him at Sirzechs' bluish, baby blue kind of eyes. This is where, well, Issei still has his gun still pointed at Gracefully. Sirzechs sighs and says, I guess there's no other choice here. DeadShot, you may leave, but I don't want you to go anywhere near my sister and her school. Say less, I won't even touch that school in a, what's it called, 60-foot meter radius. I will literally just disappear, but whatever. This is where, well, Issei's gun, he disappears, mostly it disappears into nothing, but turns into a grenade, a flash grenade, until mostly Gracefully and Sirzechs widen their eyes, thinking it's an actual grenade. He clicks on it, and of course, where he throws it up, and it just flashes. This is where, well, the room is now empty, but of course Gracefully and Sirzechs' eyes are hurting from the fact that their eyes are hands, mostly hands vision because of them being devils and being that of pure blood most of the time. But of course, this is where they see, our eyes. This is where, well, Issei disappears in an instant, but yeah. Issei now walks away, going back to Kuo, and of course getting into mostly his house. Dyeing his hair back to brown, and of course wearing a shirt that doesn't reveal too much, or mostly wearing casual clothes that mostly looks like he's skinny and thin. This is where, well, he uses a little bit of magic on him to make sure that he looks illusion skinny and thin. But yeah, and we can show him, but yeah, you don't need to point. But of course, where, well, he goes into his room, kind of just notices the clock and other things. He knows that he has one more day into doing whatever, or he just goes to school. But we go into a time skip of the next day. Of course, after that, Issei just kind of chills, didn't really care, watch YouTube, do some stuff, but whatever. But of course, we go into the next day. It's now the school of Kuo. Everyone that was a sophomore becomes into a junior, and those who were juniors becomes into a senior. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei is now kind of going into school. This is where, well, he notices two friends. He noticed one of them having a shattered heart, being being like depressed, sad, and other shit, while his friend is trying to pat him the back, saying, "There, there, Murahama, there, there." This is where Issei sweats up and says, "What the fuck happened to you?" This is where, well, Murahama says, "Issei, they only use me for this." This is where, well, he's crying, and of course, this is where Issei sweats up and saying, "Huh, so what exactly happened?" This is where, well, Masui says, "I have no clue. I can barely understand what he's talking about. Could have been his date. Told you it was a bad idea to go on dates when people don't know you that much. And besides, was there a date in this, well, was there a girl in this school?" This is where Masui shakes his head. This is where he says, "Dumbass." This is where, well, he says that with such a uncaring tone, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into mostly Issei and Matsui Murahama go into school. Of course, there's a bunch of rumors of them being the trio of perverts, but of course that's the thing. Of course, well, Matsui is kind of ignoring all of them. This is where, well, Issei hears him, but he doesn't really care. And Murahama is right now crying like hell. Said, "Guys," Issei said, "Can you shut up for a second? I'm trying to think. So you got your heart broken up by a girl?" "Yes." He says, "Yes." This is where, well, he says, "Who exactly?" "Well, I don't actually remember." This is where, well, Issei's literally face plants. Masui looks at him confusedly, and Issei said, "Are you sure you didn't just dream this shit up?" Wait, no, better question. How the fuck do you forget your date's name? Actually, how the fuck do you forget her description? "Well, all I remember was this size of chest and this word." He says, "How the fuck did that help me in case I might go on a date on accident with her?" "Well, this is where Issei said, I'm done. I'm not going that way anyway here." This is where, well, mostly Masui says, "You can't be like that, Issei. You can't just be paranoid and be like, I'm not going on a date with anyone here." He says, "I can be paranoid. I don't care." Well, you actually going to do the exact same and be like, what's it called, Matsui depressed ass most of the time? Or not Matsui, Murahama's depressed ass. This is where Matsui says, "Then again, we don't know who exactly was the one to break his heart." "Yeah, that's right, but I'll figure out this later, whatever." This is where, well, they kind of go to see Murahama, and Murahama's gone. ... Where the fuck did that motherfucker go? Both of them said it in the same time. This is where we go into mostly Matsui kind of being in the restroom, kind of crying. But this is where, well, he kind of was about to like get out of the door until he got like sucker punched so hard. This is where he falls down to the ground. This is where Murahama tries to get up, but this is where he started getting his ass beat. This is where, well, Issei said, "Do you think he went to the bathroom? Maybe he went to just dry out some tears." This is where, well, mostly they kind of nodded to just go to the bathroom. The closest boys' bathroom, but when they get there, they see a group, kind of like two people kind of like staying out from the door. And of course, where, well, the person kind of like, a person walks out. And this is where, well, he nods to his friends and then just walks away. But yeah, both Issei and, well, Matsui were hiding because they know these guys are troublesome most of the time in school. They're like bullies / kind of like criminals somewhat or whatever. This is where, well, Issei said, like, check out the bathroom. "Why?" "I have a very bad feeling that I might find Murahama. He might be hiding in a stall or something." "Yeah, that's right." This is where they go inside, and they see blood, and they see a blood trail. Now, of course, this is where they go to the last bathroom stall. Of course, it's kind of locked until Issei decides to fucking kick it with an annoyed tone. This is where Matsui has never seen, what's it called, Issei with such a pissed off look for a second. Until when they go inside, Matsui looks with such horror, like mostly his eyes become such dead in an instant, and right now starts kind of like, well, kind of being sick a little bit, but of course crying, seeing Murahama. This is where, well, Issei looks at Mosei's friend with cold dead eyes. His eyes has become so emotionless. His face, this is where, well, it became darkened. His face is all different colors, or mostly just darker most of the time, shaded by mostly the light not being able to come close at all. His eyes, if for a second, decides to change in an instant, one becoming blue, with a very interesting, mostly in the middle, instead of being a pupil, or like a black pupil, it was a star, a blue star, with a black kind of void around it, being the black void, but yeah. And the other eye was yellow, and it had a red tint of shade, and the star, it was a yellowish star, but yeah, or mostly a reddish star. But of course, it all changed in an instant back to normal with golden brown eyes. After hearing his friend, wait, Issei. This is where Matsui rushes up to his friend and says, yo, dude, are you okay? You don't look fine. Do you want us to? I'm fine. I'm fine. This is where, well, Issei says, shush, you're still very hurt. It seems that most of the punches were just into your gut, but also into your face, and one of them might have hit your voice box. This is where Issei's fist was clenching in an instant, with such an angry kind of expression, like his knuckles were turning white in an instant, and how hard he was clenching the fist. This is where his teeth were showing off, being just gritting his teeth pretty hard, and this is where, well, mostly Matsui says, Issei, don't we need to bring him to the, what's it called, nurse office? Yeah, we gotta do that. Issei's fist would let go, and of course it became back to pale kind of color. This is where, well, or not pale color, kind of tan color. This is where Issei grabs his friend, of course hoists him up with mostly Matsui doing the same, and bringing him to the nurse office. This is where, well, the nurse was confused. She was mostly on break. She wasn't expecting anything until she sees the trio perverts come in, with Matsui being really fucking hurt. This is where, well, the nurse was surprised, and of course where she sighs and says, which candle girl did this to him? This is where, well, Issei said it was none of the candle girls. This is where, well, Issei had to lie and just say that he fell down the stairs. This is where Matsui was confused, and Murahama was actually knowing damn well that Issei's lying, so mostly those guys wouldn't get in trouble. This is where, well, mostly Matsui was about to say something until Murahama stopped him. This is where, well, mostly the nurse kind of nodded and says, okay, come on, what's it called? Matsui, lay on the bed and I'll get you something to kind of heal your wounds and other stuff. This is where, well, both Matsui and Issei walked out of the nurse office, and this is where Matsui says, Issei, why did you? This is where, well, Issei turns back around, and his eyes are duller than normal. His goldenish light brown eyes become so dull. Issei said, I lied because I know damn well that they will try to get in trouble. Well, mostly she would try to get them in trouble, and if that happens, you know damn well that Matsui would have, well, not Matsui, Murahama would have been more of a target. And you know damn well what would happen next. This is where, well, Matsui knows well that the guy is kind of bad news most of the time. And this is where, well, Matsui said, why do you think they did that to him? Issei said, I think I have a clue. It might have done with the girl that he dated. You remember, right? This is where, well, Matsui nodded. Well, I think I have a solution to get rid of them. This is where, well, Issei's voice is so cold. And of course, where when he say get rid of them, he means like something else instead of like kind of pushing them away or trying to get them away from, well, Matsui. He means something permanent. This is where, well, Matsui for some reason got chills down his spine after hearing that. This is where Matsui said, okay, well, what should we do? First, we gotta get to class. I felt bad of leaving, what's it called, Matsui here, but we're not Matsui Murahama here. But we're gonna have to do it. This is where, well, Matsui nodded. Of course, where they go to class, and this is where, well, Issei's mostly mind is not normal. There's right now darkness spreading through his head. This is where, well, we go to the day of mostly Issei and Matsui kind of trying to think. Of course, Matsui in a different, well, they're in the same class in 4th period, but this is where, well, Issei was called up to the office. Issei was kind of gritting his teeth because, well, first of all, he doesn't want to deal with this bullshit. He didn't even do anything the whole day. Even what's it called, Matsui is, well, too kind of afraid to do anything. He doesn't want to go to the Kendo class and try to spy on them. And with the Kendo class, like girls kind of noticed that the guys haven't actually spy on them, more mostly when they're changing, which they were confused and what was happening. Of course, where, well, rumors started spreading that most of the guys are kind of quiet. This is where, well, the trio perverts. But of course, we go into Issei going up to the office. Now, of course, Masui, he managed to kind of ask to go to the bathroom real fast. Of course, where, well, he gets out of the, like, mostly class and go up to Issei and says, what is happening? Do you think Mosi Murahama said something? This is where Issei says, no, that's not the case. Because before we went to fourth period, I went to check to the nurse office and I saw, well, I should say Murahama, unconscious body. Mostly he was still asleep and probably passed out from all that beating. This is where, well, Mostly says, what do you think it is? I don't know. But whatever it is, just know to stay on guard. And if anything happens, just run like hell. Besides, you're a jock. Remember, you can run faster than normal. This is where, well, Mostly says, but still, what happened if I can't run? Dude, then fight. You used to be a jock and you still have enough strength to knock people out. But Issei said, look here, Matsui. If anything happens to you, then besides, I will help you out. Just if you ever you are in trouble, just call me. Don't worry, I'll help you out. Issei does a fist bump towards his friend because they've been friends since middle school, or not since middle school, since when they were children and now to middle school and now high school. This is where, well, Matsui nodding and kind of has this like courage, mostly like he'd do anything. Mostly he got courage by his friend that like he can do anything, but yeah. Of course his friend just like walks away and this is where, well, Matsui goes back to class, but yeah. Before going to the bathroom, going back to class, but yeah. He's excited, and when he gets to what's it called, the office of mostly the council, what's it called, president council room. This is where, well, he sees Sona just there, no Tsubaki, no Sanji, no one else. This is where, well, he says, do you need something, Kaichu? This is where, well, Sona has this like evilish grin on her face for a second, a split second before it turns back into a stoic look. Issei kind of narrows his eyes. This is where, well, Issei said, do you need something, Kaichu? This is where Kaichu kind of said, yes, I do need something. I want to play a little game of chess. This is where, well, Issei narrows his eyes and says, that's the oddest request. Why is that? This is where Sona says, oh, it's because, I want to make a little bet with you. This is where, well, Issei narrows his eyes and says, and what would that be? How should I say? Well, it's mostly like a bet / favor, and I will tell you later. This is where, well, if I win, and if you lose, well, yeah, if you win, then I will allow that favor to go towards me. This is where, well, she's kind of like doing the normal stoic, mostly Sona personality, but yeah, because this is Sona, so this is where, well, Sona, well, mostly Issei nods and says, okay, then let's start. Issei doesn't really have anything to lose, but this is where when they start playing, Issei's mind was going in two different places. First of all, he's confused why Sona is actually asking him to play chess when they have never played chess. They're not in friendly terms. Actually, the best term to actually explain this is mostly getting in trouble all the time by Sona. This is where, well, Issei's confused. If she doesn't know anything about the incident. What the hell does she even want? And also this aura. I have felt it familiar. Wait. This is where Issei widened his eyes for a second, split a second before turning back to normal. Issei says, no, she can't be the one to be getting GTA 6. Was she also the one to try to manipulate my mind to drop the bag? I see, so that's what she's after. Well, too bad, Sona. Even though I have things to do after this shit, and after stuff, I'm still not letting you, well, be able to get GTA 6. Even if I have to win this game. This is where, well, Issei calculated all the chess pieces that mostly Sona is doing. And Issei is right now being able to kind of win the game very fast. This is where, well, Sona kind of noticed that she lost. And this is where her eyes just pales in an instant. Or not mostly pales. Mostly her face becomes pale. Her eyes just widen. This is where, well, she kind of looks up and sees what's a car, thinking that she is looking up to see a smug look Issei. Issei is right now, his eyes are kind of cold a little bit, but this is where Issei then smiles a little and says, it seems I won, Kaichu. Well, that favor that I want you to ask, I'll ask you later. Right now, I have things to do. Issei gets up, and this is where, well, mostly Sona won her eyes. She lost. She has lost. She has lost the game. This is where she realized what she even lost, even worse. She didn't just lose her pride, she literally lost to have a marriage contract with Issei. This is where she wasn't expecting one of the trio purpose to be one of the smartest out of, well, the other two. This is where, well, she knows that Issei's grades are pretty good, but of course she wasn't expecting to lose towards Issei. This is where, well, her face becomes very angry for a second, then becomes extremely red, and then realizes that she can't play GTA 6 because this is mostly the person that was what's it called going after to get GTA 6. But yeah, this is where, well, we go into mostly Issei getting out of the classroom, or mostly the office. This is where Issei then walks away, but before going back to his class, he noticed a kind of talk by some people. This is where these people are connected with the other, well, person that beat the shit out of, well, Murahama. And Issei hears that this person is like going to a bar. Of course, this bar doesn't need ID and other stuff, and this is where, well, they're like trying to talk about drinking and drinking games and other things. This is where Issei nodded. Right now, walking away, and this is where, well, he might bring Murahama along. Or not Murahama, mostly Matsui along. But yeah, Murahama's right now in the, what's it called? Well, still in the bed of the nurse. This is where when he goes to the nurse office, he can still see what's it called? Matsui, or not Matsui, Murahama's still in the bed. This is where, well, mostly the nurse kind of questioned Issei because she managed to open the door and see Issei. And this is where, well, she tried to question Issei and who exactly did this to us, what's it called? Matsui, or not Matsui, Murahama. This is where she tries to question him about that complete bullshit story about the stairs is complete bullshit because mostly he got hit in the, what's it called, throat, and that's no way in hell that's a possible chance to get hit in the throat unless he's that unlucky. And he has a lot of the broken ribs, and of course his face had black eyes, and there's possible no way unless he was going to pluck it by hitting the railing or something. Issei kind of looks at her with an emotionless cold dead eye, and Issei said, "Don't worry about it. Besides, those who actually were to be the ones who hurt my friend aren't going to live for long." Issei said it in such a cold, stern voice, kind of freaked out mostly the nurse for a second. This is where she was confused in what that actually meant, or what Issei actually meant about that. Issei walks away and kind of gets towards his fourth tower before the bell rings, and of course, this is where he sees Matsui. And of course, Matsui says, "Yo, Issei, what happened?" Issei says, "Nothing. It wasn't even a part of that whole situation." Actually, Matsui, what are you gonna do after school? That's where, well, Matsui says, "Nothing. Why?" "Well, we're going to a bar." "Wait, what?" This is where he gets his mouth covered up. This is where he says, "Shh, shush. I'll explain later." After what's it called, 5th and what's it called, 6th and 7th periods, and to meet up at my house most of the time. This is where, well, Matsui nodded. This is where, well, Issei said, "Okay, good. Now, don't talk or don't say anything. And if you hear something about Murahama or rumors or whatever, keep an eye drop on it, okay?" This is where, well, mostly Matsui nodded. This is where Issei says, "Good. Now I'll be going." Issei is acting like a completely different person. Now, of course, where, well, Matsui is just thinking that that's just the case of mostly Issei being like the best, bro friend that anyone can ask. But this is not the case. This is, for some reason, Issei is actually taking the situation much more serious. Like if he's on a mission to assassinate people, or like a hitman mission. Because he does have his hitman life, and mostly his high school life being all completely different. And now the only people that actually know about his hitman life is no one. And he wants to keep it like that. But mostly when it comes to his friends getting hurt from people, he's not going to take that lightly. He's going to fuck you up one way or another. But that's not the point. We go into mostly, well, the school being ended off. Of course, well, Issei kind of got a girl to approach him, which it wasn't, what's it called? Well, it was Rainer, but it was through the high school. But yeah, mostly the academy, because Rainer just go to the academy. And this is where Rainer kind of questioned Issei if he will be free to go on a date today. Issei kind of looks in Naruto's eyes and says, "No, I will not have time." This is where, well, she didn't question if he would have time on Saturday or maybe throughout this week. This is where she's getting nervous a little bit. Not nervous because mostly Issei rejected her, which she is kind of getting nervous, but at the same time she's getting nervous because there's someone behind Issei that's kind of just like making kind of emotions on her face, going like, meh, can't get a date, then blah blah blah. This is where, well, Rainer's gritting her teeth, and this is where, well, she tried to command Issei to do a date today, but this is where Issei ignored her entirely. This is where she widened her eyes, expecting not the pervert to ignore her. This is where, well, she grit her teeth and saying, fine, if you won't go on a date with me, then I will have to spy on you. This is where she just thinks in her that would be a good idea. But we go into mostly Issei and Matsui kind of wearing casual clothes, like casual ass clothes, and going to a bar. But of course, Issei looks like he's not wearing casual clothes. He's wearing a black kind of jacket. Like, okay, this is how he looks like. Well, he's kind of wearing this. He's wearing black shoes, like black dressing shoes, black pants, and of course, like this, like grayish kind of ripped coat, and of course, a grayish kind of like shirt. This is where, well, not well. Mostly, Issei is kind of wearing like that. Now we go into Matsui, and he's dressed up like this. So this is how Matsui is going to be looking like, kind of. I don't know who exactly this person is. I just like search up Menace's outfit, whatever. I have no clue what I searched that up. Well, he just has black shoes. He does have black pants, or not black pants, they're kind of gray. He does wear like a red kind of like jacket coat like this, but yeah, with a gray, white shirt, but yeah. And of course, he doesn't have that sword or white hair, but yeah. But we go into mostly Issei and Matsui going into a bar. Of course, they get into the bar first and just wait there. Of course, the bartender asks, and what exactly did they want? And this is where, well, Issei kind of just says, give me a fireball. This is where, well, the drink is like basically peppers and hot things and other things. And this is where, well, Matsui says, give me, what's it called, just a Coke. This is where the person nodded, goes to and kind of gets it. Of course, where like multiple people with multiple girls kind of go into this bar. Of course, where, well, they sit at like a shared table like far away. Of course, where, well, not just those people kind of sit, but that's where Issei narrowed his eyes at the people who are sitting up there. He noticed that one guy that came out of that bathroom to beat the when he kind of beat the shit out of, well, what's it called? Well, Hama, and Matsui's kind of having a nervous look because he sees them also. And this is where, well, mostly he's confused at what Issei even wanted to be here for. But of course, he's just sitting there because he wants to kind of, well, be with his friend. Just for whatever's going to happen. This is where, well, he didn't notice, well, mostly Issei or Matsui didn't notice the door open again. And of course, two people actually appear, or mostly three people. One having the same outfit that was in, was it called GameStop outfit? Of course, the one that was actually Sona wearing. She was confused on why Issei is going out. And of course, kind of going into a bar because she's confused. Of course, where, well, mostly, two other people kind of were spying. Of course, this is where, well, one girl with blondish hair and the other girl with blackish hair. Of course, one having magenta eyes and the other having kind of dullish blue eyes. Now, of course, the dullish blue eye girl kind of asked, Rainer, and why the fuck they're here? Exactly why the hell are you stalking the guy? This is where, well, Rainer kind of says that mostly it's a good idea to stalk him to see what he would like to do and blah, blah, blah. Maybe I'll go on a date. This is where, well, most of the girl stops her and says, you idiot, stop rambling on. This is where, well, the person came back with the drinks, and this is where, well, Issei kind of, well, both Issei and Matsui were kind of just there sitting. Of course, this is where, well, Issei was about to, like, take a drink of his, like, drink until he noticed that those people just ordered, like, cheap beer and other things. And this is where, before they kind of, well, mostly the bartender went to kind of go get the cheap beer, Issei kind of says, hey, come here. This is where the person says, yeah. This is where Issei kind of, like, put a 20, like, how much a yen or whatever will put into like the $20 or whatever. He kind of put it on the like table, and this is where Issei says, get them like this drink and other stuff. And this is where, well, it's almost like a shot and what's it called, some other drinks. This is where, well, the person says, okay, fine. This is where he takes the money, and of course, this is where, well, Matsui is confused. This is where she's confused of like, what the fuck, why are you getting drinks for them? This is where, well, Issei says, just watch close. Also, you want a taste of my drink? This is where, well, Matsui says, fuck it. This is where he take like a little sip that's not even touching his mouth, and this is where, well, he puts it back on the table. That's where he said, what the fuck? This is where, well, he then takes a like giant sip of his Coke because holy shit, that was spicy as hell. This is where, well, Issei takes a little bit more of a sip, like a good a big gulp of like the drink, and this is where well he didn't drink it all. This is where well there's still like half of it in the like drink, and this is where well he says that tastes good. This is where well mostly says yeah it tastes good my ass fucking spicy tail. How the hell can you resist that hate? He says oh it just takes a while. What the fuck do you mean takes a what? This is where well the person brings the drink towards that table and of course tells him that mostly it was that person over there at that table. Of course it worked well. Mostly like one dude kind of gets up when another dude kind of gets up. Of course going towards the table of like Issei, and this is where well he says you were the one to give us this drink. Well we don't want it, so you can have it. He splashed the drink into mostly Issei's face. The girls were giggling and chuckling. Of course it worked well. Mostly the guy was laughing, and this is where well it was mostly the guy who beat the shit out of what was it called Morohama, and this is where well Issei says oh well this is where Issei kind of like gets the drink out of his eyes and just kind of like uses his hand. This is where Issei says I see. Well, you're gonna like this drink instead. He grabs a drink, the kind of like fireball drink, throws into the guy's eyes, and the guy says, what the fuck? This is where, well, one of the guys was it called? Which one of the guys that was next to this guy tries to throw a punch at Issei. Issei grabs his punch, right now snaps his arm, and this is where he punches this guy in the face. This is where the other guy that was trying to get fucking the fireball out of his eyes turns around trying to punch at Issei, but Issei managed to kind of block his attack and punch him so hard in the the face, launching him to the pool table. But yeah, this is where I should mention it was a pool table. There's like multiple pool tables, but yeah, this is where the guys from the table, the girls screamed because they weren't expecting Issei to be throwing hands at these people. Of course, this is where like there was like 3 other guys at this table, or not 3, 4 guys. Of course, one of them rushes at Matsui, getting him up from the table, or mostly the chair, and tries to punch at him. This is where Matsui didn't let that happen. Of course, clocked this guy in the fucking, like, shit, knocking his shit out. This is where, well, one of them tries to attack Issei by getting a beer bottle and trying to smash it into Issei. Issei blocks this guy's attack by blocking his hand that was actually about to hit him with the beer bottle. Grab the guy's beer and then smash into this guy's head. Bah! Smashing them down to the ground. This is where Issei says, pathetic bitch. This is where one guy tries to use a pool table, like, one of those, like, sticks to try to smack at Issei. Issei dodges in an instant, sending a powerful kick into his head, knocking his shit out. This is where, well, one guy actually tries to attack Matsui again by kind of just throwing beer bottles at Matsui. Matsui is trying to dodge, which she managed to just jump out of the way. This is where Issei managed to grab him and throws him back so hard at the guy, smashing the beer bottle into this guy's face and knocking him out. Yeah, the guy was knocked out. Until one guy tries to get up, the guy who got uppercutted by Matsui. That punch wasn't powerful enough, so of course the guy tries to attack Matsui with the knife. This is where Issei managed to deflect, well, mostly grab the guy's like hand that had the knife, managed to twist it by breaking his hand, his wrist in an instant, and of course grabbing this guy from the face, smashing him down to the ground, and then stomping on his fucking like what's it called, near his knee. Well, not mostly near the bone that's in your foot. So of course this is where he stomped on that shit, and this is where the guy was screaming, saying, ah! This is where he's crying in an instant, and Issei just stomped on the face just to knock him out. This is where the bartender's having like this little wooden bath, and this is where, well, Issei kind of noticed some of the bartender people, or not bartender, mostly that one bartender and some people, and this is where Issei says, well, anyone else that's here should probably leave, call the cops, tell them the truth. This is where, well, the people kind of leave. This is where, well, Issei still noticed the people that were at kind of the corner of his eye view, and this is where Issei says, you need to leave also, people that I don't fucking know. This is where, well, Issei noticed as a call one of the girls, or actually all 3 of them had interesting magic signatures that he felt throughout this day somewhat. But of course, this is where they leave also, with just shocked look in their eyes, but of course you can't see them thanks to the glasses that they're wearing, or mostly shades. They get outside, and of course Issei says, sorry about the damages, just call the cops, tell them the truth, tell them that you were, well, like there was a fight happening, you didn't get a good look at the other side. Just saying. Then again, you could always tell them that you were serving beer or mostly drinks to mine. Well, never mind. But then again, well, you can always just say that, but you mostly knew that most of the cops would figure out you were just serving that drink to minors. But then again, blah blah blah. This is where the person right now seems shocked at Issei. He says, oh, whatever. But here's some money here. I'll put it on the table. Sorry about the damages that I've done. This is where he put like $60 on the table, however much that would be equal towards yen. But yeah, or Japanese currency, I don't remember. But yeah, this is where, well, we'll see. Issei says, well, other than that, me and my friend will be leaving. This is where, well, Issei says, come on, Matsui. This is where Matsui says, sure. This is where they get outside. Sorry about that. They get outside, and of course, well, Issei said, that felt great. Issei stretches back, pops some bones in his body. This is where Matsui says, what the fuck? Issei said, what? You just gaslighted him. Issei said, no. That was basically, okay, that does sound like gaslighting someone. This is where, well, Matsui said, still, where did you learn all that technique skills? This is where, well, Issei said, oh, my grandfather. My grandfather was the one to teach me how to fight most of the time. Since I used to got bullied in, what's it called, elementary. Elementary. Mostly my grandfather was the one to taught me how to fight. And taught me how to gaslight people, how to do a lot of shit. Also, how to use guns. That's what Matsui looks at Issei with a surprised look and says, hold the fuck up, what? What the fuck did your grandfather just said? Just said, look here, kiddo, I'm gonna teach you how to use a gun. Issei giggles and says, that's kind of true. That's how he actually taught me how to, well, told me and taught me how to kind of use a gun. My god, what the fuck, Issei? Well, my grandfather was in the military. He decided to teach me a lot of things. And besides, he was still a cool ass man to be around. Besides, he taught me how to get how to drink, how to do this, how to do that, how to get my first kill. Oh wait, no, I mean, you didn't hear that. Matsui says, hold the fuck up, what? This is where he says, nothing, you didn't hear anything. This is where, well, Matsui says, Issei, you're so much more confusing than I thought. But don't you think I'm so much more of a badass now? This is where, well, Matsui says, I can't say shit, can I? Well, think about it. We got revenge on, what's it called, Murahama. Oh, we should have took a picture to kind of show him. Wouldn't he freak out more? Who cares, man? If they try to go after me, I'll pop their ass. This is where, well, mostly, Matsui says, what do you mean about that? I'll shoot them in the brain. This is where, well, Matsui says, hold up, you're gonna just commit murder? Hey, how else are you gonna stop them from coming after us? I mean, do you have another way? This is where, well, Matsui says, no, I don't. Then shut up. Okay, fine. Damn, I wasn't expecting you to literally commit murder out here. Hey, bro, when it comes to you two, since you two are the only friends that I have, I guess I'd do anything just to keep my friendship with you guys. Except anything illegal from, like, touching girls and other things. Okay, idiot? I'm not gonna help you if you do something like that. Matsui short drops and says, I guess so. Well, we should probably get home, shouldn't we? Yeah, we should. And also, don't mention this anything to anyone. What about the girls are going to question about the rumors? Well, if they spread rumors, no one's gonna believe them. We have a reputation to be one of the worst. The fuck is gonna happen there? I would just say if people try to question you, Matsui, just say that was a calm, that you weren't there, that they are just tripping like hell. This is what Matsui says, so you're basically telling me to gaslight them. Oh, hell yes. Okay, fuck it. I'll try. Well, come on, man. Don't just try, just actually do it. It's not that hard to gaslight someone. Whatever. This where, well, Issei chuckles and says, besides, have I ever told you that I actually won against Kaichu in chess? Hold the fuck up, what? You remember when, what's it called, Kaichu, or mostly, I was called up to the office? Yeah. Well, we had a little chess game. I don't know why she wanted the little chess game. I think she wanted me to just stop being a pervert. Even though I don't pervert anything. Actually, I don't even people you guys. That was just completely bullshit rumors that you guys just decided to try to throw me under the bus. Which, fuck you guys. This is where, well, about the switch up and say, well, mostly switch up and says, I guess you're right. That is true. Why does she want you to get a favor of that? I guess she wanted me to stop you guys from being perverts. Not gonna lie, I think I know a way in how to stop you. This is where, well, Matsui says, and how's that? I'll pull out a gun and threaten you. This is where, oh, Matsui says, hold the fuck up, what? This is where, well, Issei said, what? I'm just kidding, bruh. Besides, we gotta be going to the house and other things. This is where, well, the bar door, like, opens, of course, one guy appears. Of course, he's rushing towards Issei and saying, die, you bastard! Of course, this is where both Issei and Matsui are across a mostly street, and of course this is where the guy is rushing, of course not carrying on whatever. And this is where the guy is coming, and this is where he's like, die! This is where he's running. This is where both Issei and Matsui looks at this, and Matsui gets kind of scared. Issei says, "Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. Trucking will knock him out." This is where mostly the person runs up, and of course he doesn't look into the street. Of course the thing said not to run because mostly, or not to cross most of the time, and the guy was still running, and of course this is where someone didn't see him, and of course this is where a truck smashes into the guy, and this is where both Matsui and Issei says, "Damn!" The guy is all fucking being up, and he's like, "Ugh, I can't feel my arm, I can't feel anything." Issei says, "Yo, you good?" This is where the guy glares at Issei and says, "Fuck you, burn in hell." Issei said, "If I burn in hell, then I can't see your pitiful face literally dying. So no, I refuse your offer of burning in hell. So how about you burn in hell?" This is where the person grabs his teeth, tries to grab his arm that had the knife. Issei grabs the knife and says, "Quite interesting knife. I wonder where you got it from. But who cares? I'm taking it." This is where Issei pocketed that shit. And of course the guy from the truck kind of just gets out of the truck and says, "What happened? Is he fine?" This is where, Issei says, "No, he's not fine. He is dead. He fully died." This is where the person says, "Oh, I'm gonna lose my job." This is where, Issei pats him in the back and says, "Don't worry. Just say nothing. Just say that he got hit by another truck and you don't need to say anything. But what about the blood on my truck? I'm going to get screwed." Issei says, No. It's easy. You wash it off." But this is where Issei says, "It's quite easy. I mean, you don't want to lose your job, don't you?" Issei said with such a kind of calm tone, and this is where the person says, "I don't. I need to feed my family." This is where Issei says, "Then wash the blood off your car. Besides, no one will ever know about this. Me and my friend would keep our lips so shut. We don't care. Besides, this is where Issei noticed that the person was delivering like mostly some stuff. Issei said, "I'll make a deal with you. How about I don't say anything, my friend don't say anything, if you give us a little parting gifts that mostly you seem to be working at." What do you work at?" This is where the person said, I deliver video games." "Oh, well, when GTA 6 comes out, I want you to deliver that for me, and I won't say anything ever." This is where the person right now like gulps and says, Yes, I'll do that." Issei says, "Then good. Then I'll help you all washing the car." This is where the person nodded and says, "Yes." This is where, Issei explains that there's actually a car wash like over there. Of course, no one's there because mostly it's night and blah blah. This is where the person nodded, drives off, and kind of goes to kind of like wash his car, his like truck. Issei and Matsui, mostly Matsui say, he had his mouth like all the way down, like his jaw all the way down. Issei says, "Close your mouth before a fly just flies in there." This is where a fly literally flies in. This is where he managed to cough up the fly, and this is where, Issei says, "Told you, idiot." This is where, Matsui said, "I never expected you to actually gaslight someone from committing murder." What the fuck, Issei? Issei said, "What? Now we don't need to deal with this idiot ever again." What do you think? He's gonna come back from the grave? Fucking bring it. I would love to see him come back from the grave. Not gay. Actually, he probably will come back from the grave. This is where, Matsui says, "Issei, how many people have you gaslighted in your life?" That's a good question. Probably, if you wanna expect me, how many people, let's say that I started all the way since I was 6. What the fuck? Who? Huh? Oh, my grandfather told me how to gaslight people. Besides, I gaslighted my parents, I gaslighted anyone, I gaslighted teachers to give me good grades. What do you think I'd be doing every time of my life? Why do you think I have good grades? It's not because I'm smart or anything. Actually, if people would say that gaslighting is a smart thing to do, then, I'm smart. This is where, Matsui says, I gotta learn some skills, shouldn't I? "Yeah, you idiot. Besides, the uppercut that you knocked that one person up was a pretty good punch, but you didn't use full force, did you?" "I didn't want to hurt him." "Dude, did you just not see me hurting people? Motherfucker, I grabbed one of the beer bottles and smashed into someone's head like I didn't care." "Because you're just built different. Your grandfather probably taught you that." "Actually, Well, when you say it like that, you're not wrong. What the fuck, Issei? What the actual fuck? Issei kind of just looks at his friend, and this is where he smiles and just says, "Oh, come on, dude. It's fine. Who cares? Besides, how about this? I'll teach you how to use a gun, I'll teach you how to fight, and I'll teach you other things. If," okay, what is that if? "You stop peeping on people." Well, or do you want to get your ass kicked and die from some random occurrence or whatever? This is where Matsui says, "Okay, fine. Okay, fine. What about Murahama? Oh, I'm also gonna do the same for him." "Okay, fine. I guess it'll be a better option than us literally dying and getting protected by you." Exactly. Now that's the spirit there. Yeah. This is where, well, Issei said, "Well, we should probably be going." This is where, well, Matsui says, "Okay, bye, I'm going home." This is where, well, Issei says, "Bye. Yeah, this is where, well, Matsui disappears. Issei was kind of waving at him. Of course, and where he sees Matsui disappearing, then Issei turns around and says, "I know you're there. Come out from the shadows. You think I'm stupid enough to not notice your presence?" This is where, well, three people come out from the shadows. Of course, surprised that there's actually, well, another person, those two people, and, well, one person's probably shocked to see two other people. Of course, then where, well, Issei said, "I'm not stupid. What exactly do you people want? Actually, there's a good chance you probably won't even care about human affairs, about killing, blah, blah. Besides, it's not my fault that the guy literally got hit by a truck. Really, I wasn't even the one to do anything. That was just fate there." This is where, well, Issei is just having an evilish grin on his face. This is where both of them just sweat dropping, or all three of them are just sweating dropping. This is where, well, Issei said, "But still, that's not the point. The reason why I just know that you people won't care about human affairs is because I know you two are fallen angels." He points at two of them. "And I know one of you are a devil. So, let's see. Why would a devil and with two fallen angels follow a human? Unless they're trying to kill the human, but that's not the case. You would have killed me a while ago. Let's see. Your magical signatures are telling me that I know you people. Let's see. Who to cross you out with people, blah, blah. Blondish hair. That means your eyes could be a palish blue color. Well, mostly your blondish hair is rose blondish, and of course, you probably have palish blue eyes, meaning that you could be Joko and Ishima. Am I right?" This is where a person starts kind of shaking uncontrollably. This is where, well, Issei says, "On to your kind of friend over there. She has black hair, I'm guessing she has magenta eyes, and she could be Rainer and Ishima also." This is where Rainer kind of just swatch ups also, because literally she's shaking also uncontrollably. And this is where Issei said, "And the last, you're the girl that literally wanted GTA 6. And the same person that I play chess with. Isn't that right?" Sona Sifri. This is where Sona right now shakes. Well, mostly she is shocked to believe that Issei knows about the supernatural. Also shocked the fact that he found out who exactly they are, and when they just takes off their disguise from their face, just kind of showing off their face, and this is where they're just glaring at Issei. Issei's grinning at them with just a kind of goofy, evilish grin. Issei said, "Well, look at that. I was actually right. I was actually just expecting that you were going to cut on that I'm just bullshitting, but I guess I was right." This is where, well, they glare at him because that was no complete bullshit accident reasons. Issei knows a little bit about the supernatural, and if that happens, then Issei is probably someone that's pretty destructive most of the time, or just someone that should probably not be taken lightly most of the time. Issei said, "Well, other than that, look at that. Well, I found out your disguise, your illusions, and blah, blah, blah. I could always spread rumors about this, or I can go home." Which I think I want to go home instead. This is where Issei said with such a cheekily kind of evilish grin. This is where, well, they narrow their eyes at him, and of course, this is where Issei says, "Oh, and besides, if you tell anyone about this situation, I won't hesitate in killing people off, just to kind of make sure that my reputation isn't ruined. Actually, who actually believe you anyway? Perverts killing people? That's actually quite funny." This is where, well, mostly Sona in her eyes, and Sona says, "Issei Hyodo, or Issei Haidu, stop where you're, well, stop walking for a second. Issei turns around and says, huh? You need something, Sona. Sona glares at him and this is where, well, Issei said, so what do you need, Sona? This is where Sona just says, how do you know about the supernatural? Well, if I tell you, you wouldn't believe me. And I think you would have never believed me, so how about this? I won't tell you. This is where Sona glares at him and this is where, well, Issei grins at her and saying, well, other than that, I should probably be going home. My parents will be worried sick about me. Oh no, I can't let my parents cry thinking that I died or something, which I probably won't die anytime until I just like hit the hunger or something. Well, other than that, I should probably be going. I don't really want to deal with these fallen angels or, well, you devil. So I'll be This is where, well, Issei noticed a light spirit rushing towards him. And this is where, well, Issei noticed that the light spirit was also rushing, well, not towards him, but mostly towards a fallen angels. This is where Issei notices, and this is where Issei right now pulls out a sword out of nowhere to cut the, light spirit in an instant. This is where the sword that he pulls out was basically this black sword. And it had this very powerful demonic with holy energy at the same time. This is where, well, it wasn't an Excalibur or anything, but mostly Issei said, or mostly not a demonic energy, with this darkness, like sinister energy, with this like light energy, but mostly just darkness, sinister energy. And this is where, well, Issei kind of looks up and say, you know, throwing light spirits is pretty bad at people. You know, you would have died in an instant if you would have tossed that light spirit towards me, Issei said with such a sinister grin. And of course, the person who was up at the sky was actually a fallen angel with 3 wings. The fallen angel just scoffed at the human and says, what the hell are you? Issei said, what the hell am I? I don't know what am I. All I know is that you're dead, so be gone from my sight. This is where, well, the person kind of grit his teeth and says, what an arrogant human you are. This is where, well, Sona was shocked to see a fallen angel with 6 wings. Of course, where the 2 other fallen angels were also shocked. This is where Issei said, get out of your way? Sure, I'll get out of your way. Just one thing. I don't want to. So come at me, bastard. Let's see who's stronger. Issei has a sinister grin. And of course, this is where, well, mostly the person scoffs and says, then you ask for it. You will die. He's flying towards Issei in high speeds. Issei said, but that's too bad for you, isn't it? Issei makes a pistol appears and starts kind of blasting in front of him. This is where, well, the fallen angels try to use his wings, but this is where the pistol bullets are actually managed to bounce off somewhat, but this is where they actually hit him in the chest and of course hurting him. This is where, well, he's coughing up blood and this is where he grit his teeth looking at Issei. Issei said, oh, well, you actually managed to survive those bullets. Then again, they're explosive bullets. So goodbye. This is where, well, Issei snapped his fingers. This is where the fallen angel says, what? His, like, body felt like pieces of, like, his inside were blown up. This is where, well, he's coughing up blood and then, This is where he's trying to get up, but this is where, well, he then gets a foot stomped to his head, and this is where, well, he smashes to the ground. This is where Issei said, seems that you're pathetic as hell. What, do you think I wasn't going to just not shoot at you? You idiot. How much of an idiot are you? Well, guess what? You're going to die, and you're going to die by a human. How does that make you feel? Doesn't that make you feel angry? Hateful? Whatever. You're going to die anyway, so who really cares what happens? This is where the fallen angel grits his teeth and looks at Issei with murderous intent, but this is where Issei said, oh, don't look at me like that. I don't really like that intent. Stop looking at me like that. Oh, whatever. Issei puts his gun, which he switches it out for a revolver, and this is where he points it at the fallen angel's head. Goodbye. Say prayers to your god, or whoever your god is. What's his name? Or whatever. He's probably dead, and I probably wouldn't even care. This is where, well, the fallen angel flinches in an instant. Of course, the other girls kind of looks at him with just confused eyes. Of course, this is where the fallen angel said in a low-toned whisper, how do you know? Issei grins and says, oh, I know many things. But you will never need to find that out, because you're dead. This is where Issei blows this guy's head off by just shooting a bullet through the fallen angel's head. Of course, this is where, well, the bullet just pierces this guy's head, piercing his face, and of course smashing to the ground. So of course it did hit his brain. So yeah, it exploded that instantly. This is where, well, Issei grins and says, well, that's quite pathetic. He then looks up at, well, the girls, and of course he had blood on his face. Of course, this is where, well, he had a smiling, goofy face, and this is where, well, he says, well, that was quite pathetic, don't you think? This is where, well, the girls were kind of blushing at mostly his sight. He was smiling like a normal, cheerful kid, but at the same time, he killed someone without a care in the world, and yet they were kind of blushing. There was this where all of them just had a little tint of red face on their face. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei said, well, I should probably be going. This is where Issei disappears a gun, and the sword also disappears. This is where, well, mostly Sona says, what the, how do you, what is that? Issei kind of looks at her and says, well, let's see. If I can remember right, Kiba has something called sword birth, doesn't he? Well, my sacred gear is similar to sword birth, but a little bit more powerful than you can think. I think it will be stronger than the true laryngitis, if you think about it. This is where Issei said. This is where Sona's confused, but this is where Issei says, oh, don't worry about it. We can talk about this tomorrow. More in private. Other than that, I'm going home. Bye. This is where Issei uses a magic circle underneath him and to transfer him away. A green magic circle, and this is where he's gone. This is where, well, all of them are just confused and shocked and dumbfounded. But yeah, or it wasn't a green magic circle, it just looks like a bluish star. His eyes kind of went into being like the colors of this, like two different eye colors. And of course, this is where they flash that color and then they disappear back to golden brown. This is where, well, a star symbol appears underneath him, and this is where he was teleporting an instant. And star particles just falls down to the ground, just dissipating after that. This is where they're confused and shocked and how strong Issei is, but Issei just kind of goes towards his house and just takes a nap on his bed. His parents were confused and where he had been, and Issei said, oh, I just been with a friend, that's all. I just been with what's it called, Matsui. We were sad about our friend kind of getting hurt in school, so that's why we were just out together. But yeah, this is where, well, they said, okay, fine. This is where, well, usually he just chuckles. Of course, going back upstairs. But yeah, but this is actually where I'm going to leave it off for what's it called, part 1 of what if Issei had a powerful sacred gear and had special eyes. Now, I didn't really explain about the powerful sacred gear, but you can just guess in what it is entirely. It's pretty powerful. It can actually do a lot of things, but don't worry about that. Also, the special eyes allows him to do some things, but I will mention those later. But other than that, bye. Just think about it similar to that of Gojo's, but not really using curse energy. But other than that, bye. See ya.